Hello and thanks for watching the Cardboard Dungeons X-Wing ship reviews. My name is Pat, and in this video we are taking a look at the TIE LN Fighter expansion for X-Wing 2nd Edition. Now, this is a ship that has not changed in any significant way from 1st Edition X-Wing. So here it is real quick, look at it, it's a TIE Fighter. Alright, so we're going to jump right into this because TIE Fighters are not super interesting to look at. So let's take a look at the maneuver dial. TIE Fighters at speed 1 have white turns. At speed 2, they have a blue straight, blue banks, and white turns. At speed 3, a blue straight, white banks, and white turns, and a red K-turn. At speed 4, they've got a white straight and a red K-turn. And at speed 5, they have a white straight. So not a lot of red on the dial, only the K-turns. They have nearly every maneuver in the game. They just can't go straight or bank at speed 1. And they are incredibly fast and maneuver very easily, as expected for this ship. Now looking at the stat line, we've got an attack value of 2 out of the front-facing arc. We've got 3 agility and 3 hull. On the action bar, focus, evade, and barrel roll. And although, as everything in 2nd edition, there is no upgrade bar printed on the ship cards, but know that all TIE Fighters as of now can take a modification, and every pilot in this expansion, with the exception of Wampa and the Obsidian Squadron pilot and Academy pilot, can also take a talent upgrade. Now, upgrades as well as the point costs that I'll be talking about in this video might change as the Fantasy Flight designers update the game in the future. The point costs and upgrade bars are controlled by the upcoming app. So just bear this in mind. Point costs and upgrades might have changed depending on when you're watching this video. Alright, jumping right into the pilots for the TIE LN Fighter. We're going to start with Howell Runner with an initiative of 5 and costing 40 points. Howell Runner retains her ability from 1st Edition X-Wing with a slight upgrade. It reads, when friendly ships at range 0 to 1 perform a primary attack, that ship may re-roll 1 attack die. So the big change to her ability coming in from 1st Edition is that it affects herself now. Previously, it was only other friendly ships. Now she can give herself rerolls as well. So if you're thinking about running TIE swarms or any kind of a TIE mini swarm, Howell Runner should be at the center of those TIE Fighters. Next up, we've got Mauler Mittal, initiative of 5 and 32 points. His ability is while performing an attack at range 1, he rolls an additional attack die. So an excellent ability, same ability we've seen on him previously. Next up, we've got Scourge Scutu, initiative value of 5 and a cost of 32 points. And while he performs an attack against a defender in the Bullseye arc, he rolls 1 additional attack die. So in X-Wing 2nd Edition, every ship has the Bullseye arc. It doesn't do anything on its own, but there's a lot of abilities and upgrades that make use of it. And rolling extra dice is always good, so if you can line that Bullseye arc up, you've got a TIE Fighter with an attack value of 3 for all intents and purposes. Next up, we've got Gideon Hask, initiative value of 4 and costing 30 points. His ability says, while you perform an attack against a damaged defender, roll an additional attack die. This was the ability that was previously on Scourge in X-Wing 1st Edition, moved over to Gideon. And we're getting into the Inferno Squadron, so a bunch of the pilots in this expansion have Inferno call signs, and they work really well together with synergy, as you'll see as we move forward here. Amico, initiative of 4 and costing 30 points. While a friendly ship at range 0 to 2 defends against a damaged attacker, the defender may re-roll 1 defense die. So kind of like a defensive version of Howell Runner, as long as the attacker is damaged. Sane Marana, initiative of 4 and costing 30 points. While you perform an attack, you may spend 1 focus result. If you do, deal 1 face-down damage card to the defender, then cancel your remaining results. Same exact pilot ability that we saw on Wampa in X-Wing 1st Edition, moved over here to another squad member of Inferno Squadron. And you'll notice that the Inferno Squadron pilots all have that initiative 4, so they can fly together really well. You can choose in what order they move and attack when they're flying together. So very neat idea. Lots of nice synergy between those pilots. All right, next up we've got Wampa with an initiative of 1 and costing 30 points. He got a brand new ability for X-Wing 2nd Edition. He also has a 1 recurring charge down on his stat line, so he gets a charge back every round. And his ability says, while you perform an attack, you may spend 1 charge to roll an additional attack die. After defending, lose 1 charge. So he's kind of going to play the role of a mini Biggs in your TIE swarms. If the opponent doesn't choose to attack Wampa, he's going to roll out 3 attack dice. So basically, you're forcing the opponent to waste an attack against Wampa and when there's maybe a higher priority target in your TIE swarm, such as Howell Runner, that they would rather shoot at, but they got to get rid of pesky Wampa first, or he's going to roll out 3 dice, probably with a re-roll and focus if Howell Runner's around. So kind of a neat support ability on Wampa. I like that a lot, and I think we'll probably see him showing up in some TIE swarms. All right, now we're getting into the non-unique pilots. We've got Black Squadron Ace with an initiative of 3, costing 26 points. Obsidian Squadron Pilot, initiative of 2 and costing 24 points. And then, of course, the Academy Pilot, initiative value of 1, coming in at 23 points. So previously, 12 points. These guys are right around the same point cost, which means that with the 200-point squadron cap in X-Wing 2nd Edition, you can still fly up to 8 of these in your TIE swarm. Although I think more likely we're going to see 7 with pilots like Howell Runner in the mix. Now moving on to the upgrade cards in this expansion. Crack Shot, with a cost of 1 point, it's a talent. It has 1 charge, non-recurring, and it says, while you perform a primary attack, if the defender is in your bullseye arc before the neutralize results step, you may spend your charge token to cancel 1 evade result. So more or less the same as Crack Shot from 1st Edition, although it does now require you to have that bullseye arc lined up in order to use it. Juke is another talent with a small or medium ship requirement, costing 4 points. While you perform an attack, if you are evading, you may change 1 of the defender's evade results to a focus result. In X-Wing 2nd Edition, if you are evading, simply means you have an evade token. So as long as you have an evade token on your ship, you can use this, and it is worded differently, but works the same as the 1st Edition X-Wing version of Juke. Next, we've got Marksmanship, another talent upgrade. While you perform an attack, if the defender is in your bullseye arc, you may change 1 hit result to a crit result, and this is costing 1 point. So not a terrible ability, again, using that bullseye arc. So practice, practice, practice. You are flying and lining up bullseye arcs, because a lot of things in X-Wing 2nd Edition are going to give you bonuses if you can do that. And finally, we've got a modification, Stealth Device. Stealth Device has a variable point cost, something new in X-Wing 2nd Edition. Its point cost is based on the ship's agility that you're trying to put it on. So if the ship has an agility value of 0, it costs 3 points. Agility 1 costs 4 points. Agility 2 costs 6 points. And Agility 3 costs 8 points. And this is done obviously because the higher your ship's native agility, the better Stealth Device is going to be on that ship, as far as being able to keep Stealth Device around for a while. Now this does come with a charge token. While you defend, if your charge token is active, roll 1 additional defense die. After you suffer damage, lose 1 charge. So different wording, it uses that charge token, but exactly the same as in X-Wing 1st Edition. You roll an additional defense die until you take damage, and then Stealth Device basically goes away. So you can see why it's really good against high agility ships, because they have a much better chance of hanging on to Stealth Device round after round, and it makes them much more difficult to hit. Whereas if you put it on a agility 0 ship, it only lets them roll out 1 die, and they're still going to be easy to hit and then lose Stealth Device. Okay, that is the TIE LN expansion for X-Wing 2nd Edition. I don't really have any comments other than to say the TIE Fighter is pretty much the same ship as in 1st Edition X-Wing. We did pick up a lot of really cool new pilots and pilot abilities in 2nd Edition, as well as retaining Howell Runner, who was always the best named TIE fighter pilot in the game. So if you're a fan of TIE swarms, they did not get nerfed in any way, and they did gain a bunch of pilots to make ability combos and synergies even more interesting to play around with in X-Wing 2nd Edition. As always, thank you for watching the Cardboard Dungeon, and I'll see you next time.